I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sex.
Yamaha has quietly made another major step in developing its future motorcycle. After a closed-door test session at the Sachsenring circuit, following the 2026 German MotoGP round, Toprak Razgatlioglu reportedly emerged from the Yamaha garage with a very different expression than in previous tests. The Turkish rider was reportedly quite surprised by the latest developments in the 850 cubic centimeters V4 engine project that Yamaha is preparing for the 2027 MotoGP regulations. Since the start of the 2026 season, Yamaha has made Razgatlioglu one of the riders most active in providing input on the characteristics of their new motorcycle. His experience as a Superbike world champion, coupled with his experience on Pirelli tires, makes every comment from Razgatlioglu crucial for Yamaha engineers. In fact, developing the V4 motorcycle is now one of the largest projects the Iwata-based manufacturer has ever undertaken. In testing at the Sachsenring, the main focus is no longer simply chasing the fastest lap time. Yamaha is instead gathering data on the characteristics of the 850 cubic centimeters V4 engine: power distribution when exiting corners, stability under hard braking, and electronic response in various power modes. Sources in the paddock stated that Toprak immediately felt a significant change compared to the Yamaha he used at the start of the season. One of the most striking changes is the engine's power character, which is now much smoother when opening the throttle in slow corners. Yamaha has often been criticized for lacking acceleration compared to Ducati and KTM. However, with the latest version, the power is reportedly more linear, giving riders much more confidence when starting to open the throttle. Another secret that is starting to be revealed is how Yamaha is trying to utilize the characteristics of Pirelli tires for the 850 cubic centimeters generation of motorcycles. Since MotoGP will use 850 cubic centimeters engines and Pirelli tires starting in the 2027 season, Yamaha doesn't want to be left behind in the adaptation process. Toprak, who has been a champion for years using Pirelli tires, is considered the most appropriate person to guide the development of the new motorcycle. This experience is now one of Yamaha's main weapons in facing the major MotoGP regulation changes. And here's the full news. Yamaha is once again at the center of attention in the MotoGP world. After months of keeping the 850 cubic centimeters V4 engine development project under wraps, interesting information has gradually emerged from the closed-door testing sessions held after the 2026 Sachsenring MotoGP race. These tests were no ordinary tests. For Yamaha, this was one of the most crucial stages in their journey to develop a new generation of motorcycles, prepared for the 2027 MotoGP regulation changes. Behind closed garage doors, Yamaha engineers worked tirelessly. There was no official launch, no major press conference, and little information was shared with the public. However, this secrecy fueled fans' curiosity. Everyone wanted to know how far Yamaha's V4 project had progressed, especially after Toprak Razgatlioglu was appointed as one of the main riders developing the bike. Toprak himself came to the Sachsenring with invaluable experience. He had already participated in several 850 cubic centimeters motorcycle testing sessions at various circuits throughout the 2026 season. Each test provided new insights for Yamaha's engineers. However, according to various media reports, this test felt different. Yamaha reportedly brought a number of new components that Toprak had never tried before. As soon as he exited the pit lane on the first lap, the entire crew's attention was immediately focused on the telemetry data continuously streaming into the control room. The technicians weren't paying much attention to the timesheets. Their focus was on seeing how the bike performed in each section of the Sachsenring track, which is known for its highly technical, left-hand turns. This circuit is known as an ideal place to test chassis balance, engine characteristics, and the bike's ability to maintain traction when exiting slow corners. Several months earlier, Toprak had repeatedly complained about chattering symptoms that appeared when the bike was leaned to the left. This vibration caused the tires to lose contact with the asphalt, making it difficult for the rider to maintain speed mid-corner. This problem also caused the rider's confidence to plummet, especially when battling against Ducati and KTM riders with powerful acceleration. However, at this Saxon Ring test, the situation began to change. Yamaha reportedly introduced major revisions to the bike's geometry, weight distribution, and the characteristics of the V4 engine they were developing. The results were already visible in the first few laps. According to reports circulating in the paddock, Toprak returned to the garage several times for lengthy discussions with Yamaha's chief engineer. Every comment he made was immediately matched with telemetry data. They analyzed how the suspension worked under braking, how the rear tire received power from the engine, and even how the bike reacted during the sharp elevation changes at the Sachsenring. One of the things that surprised Toprak most was the character of the new V4 engine. While previously known for its smooth power output, but less aggressive straight-line performance, that character has now begun to change. The new engine is capable of producing stronger thrust from mid-range without losing smoothness when opening the throttle. In other words, the power is easier to control, but still delivers much better acceleration. These changes have made Toprak feel more confident exiting corners. He no longer has to wait as long to fully open the throttle. The bike is able to accelerate faster, without excessively losing rear traction. For a racer, small changes like this can yield gains of several tenths of a second per lap. Another secret that is starting to emerge is Yamaha's extensive work on electronics. Engineers are reportedly developing new strategies for the traction control and engine braking systems. This system is designed to maintain maximum engine power without causing tire wear quickly. This combination is believed to be one of the reasons why the bike feels much more stable than the previous version. In addition to electronics, Yamaha is also reported to have introduced updates to the aerodynamics package. Although the winglet shape changes may seem very small from the outside, they have a significant impact on the bike's stability during hard braking. The front of the bike feels more attached to the asphalt, giving riders greater confidence when entering corners. Furthermore, the bike's balance when changing direction is also said to have improved significantly. The Saxon Ring has many fast, interconnected corners. On sections of the track like this, the bike must be able to change direction quickly without losing stability. Toprak reportedly feels that Yamaha's latest V4 bike is much more agile than the previous prototype. Another advantage that is starting to become apparent is how Yamaha has prepared the bike for the Pirelli tire era. For years, Toprak has been one of the most successful riders using these tires in World Superbike. This experience is now a valuable asset for Yamaha. Toprak's input allows the engineers to understand how the tires behave when receiving the immense power of the 850 cubic centimeters V4 engine. Every lap Toprak completes at the Saxon Ring provides new information. Data on tire temperature, fuel consumption, power distribution, and even suspension behavior is collected in detail. All of this information will be used to refine the bike before entering the next development phase. Interestingly, the atmosphere in the Yamaha garage appears much more optimistic than it was a few months ago. The mechanics appear more relaxed when Toprak returns to the pits. The discussions are no longer about major issues that need to be fixed, but rather small refinements to make the bike more competitive. Many observers believe this is a sign that Yamaha's V4 project is entering a more mature phase. After lagging behind its rivals for so long, Yamaha is finally finding a development direction that suits the needs of modern MotoGP. The V4 engine, combined with a new chassis, more sophisticated electronics, and Toprak's experience in understanding the characteristics of Pirelli tires, creates a very promising combination. However, Yamaha certainly doesn't want to be complacent. The road to the 2027 season is still long. Much testing remains on various circuits. The bike must also be able to perform consistently in hot and cold weather conditions, as well as when the track's grip level changes drastically. However, the initial results from the Saxon Ring offer a glimmer of hope that Yamaha fans have been waiting for. For the first time in several seasons, their development project appears to be moving in a very positive direction.